Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations. In my last video concerning changes to YouTube and my how I might be affected by it, how you might be affected by these changes to the terms of service, I got one comment. It was the very first comment that kind of brought me back to my senses a little bit. I've been deviating from the primary purpose of this channel, which is to educate, particularly with regards to electronics and ham radio. And anything that deviates from that is sometimes of great interest, but is a deviation nevertheless from the main thrust of this channel. The information that I provide for you is the best I can do as an old timer, having been a ham radio operator now for pretty close to 50 years. And so I have a tendency to look back more than look forward. I'm fascinated by some of the new technologies, software-defined radio, and some of the other automated features of radios. They can put in a little box like the Yaesu Fox Tango 857 Delta FT 857D. They can put all the features of a full-size Collins S line, if you know what that is, or a Drake 4 line inside of this box that would probably 6 or 8 of them would fit inside of an R4A. But anyway, miraculous technologies, wonderful technologies, but I'm still fascinated by one thing that drives all of my ham radio and electronics interest, and that is the fact that I can talk to you, or you can talk to me, or we can have a conversation with no intervening physical medium. And so that is, radio is in itself fascinating, and it's fascinated me since I was 3 years old. Maybe back in about 1956 in Rochester, Minnesota, on my kitchen table there was a little tube AM radio receiver, and I used to sit at that thing and talk at it, say calling, which would be the equivalent of CQ, and just marvel at the fact that in my fantasy mind that thing could transmit signals all over the universe. Well, as time went on, needless to say, I became a radio ham. It was sort of like, it was an inevitable process. And I'm still fascinated by it, but I'm fascinated by the simpler, older technologies far more than by the new ones. So I was looking on the MFJ, Mike Foxtrot Juliet, website the other day to see whether they had anything like a little transceiver that would do just CW, like a direct conversion radio. And they do have some single band radios. You might check out their website or get their catalog. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to just have a battery powered radio like that? Simple as you can get it. A dipole or vertical antenna in the backyard, and do just CW, maybe even with a straight key, a brass pounder. Needs no batteries, but radios now usually have iambic keyers built in. I'm daydreaming, as you can see, mired in these medical issues that I've outlined for you, and just the reason I do this stuff is to educate for free. My books aren't free if you go into a physical bookstore or Amazon.com and buy them, although you can get them used. You can probably pirate any of them if you're of that sort of a bent. But I do still make a little bit of a living off of that. The main thrust, though, as I grow older, is just to keep people aware of the aspects of radio, that it exists, that you can become a ham radio operator if you aren't already. Anyone can do it, and I encourage anybody who is fascinated by radio to do it. Look at the American Radio Relay League, ARRL publications. Just type in the website www.arrl Alpha Romeo Lima .org, and you'll get all that they have to offer. That's the purpose of this channel, and thank you for commenter for bringing my attention back to that fact. But I'm still fascinated by an awful lot of other things and like to discuss an awful lot of other things. And the number of hits I get on some of those videos indicates that people are interested in more than just ham radio. They like to listen to me yammer about other stuff, but I will do my best to stay away from politics. Although I will express my disgust and aggravation every time I turn on my iPad. The opening screen contains something from the Washington Post, a headline, and the word Trump is almost certain to appear there, and when I don't even look at that screen anymore, and it doesn't matter what media it might be. I have nothing against the Washington Post, but blah-bitty, blah-bitty, blah, it's time for Stanley to shut up and get on with the business of living and get on with the business of hopefully making your life in ham radio a little bit more fun. After all, it's a hobby, not a vocation, not a job, not a chore. It's supposed to be fun. Calling, CQDEW1GV, and of course at the end of it all, so long, 73, da-da-da-da-da-da.